y'all, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to experiment with adding an actual sunset to a sunset platter. This idea started with these colorful crushed acrylic stones. I added them to some clear tabletop resin before arranging them onto this 13-inch wooden frame. Now we're going to add the colored resin. I started with this blue-green color as the base, then started adding some accent colors of this seafoam teal and purple. I wanted to stick with colors that are normally in a sunset. I didn't add the orange just yet because I was worried the blue and orange would make it just turn brown. So I started with these cool colors and swirled them together. On this project, I'm not worried about air bubbles forming. It's a pretty shallow pour, so they'll rise and pop. And the resin in this piece is all for artistic look. It's not responsible for its structural integrity. Having some bubbles present will actually create the patterns you'll see forming in just a bit. I decided to heat this base layer of resin to speed up the reaction and get the colors to mix even more. Heat makes the resin viscosity thinner and the chemical reaction happen faster. I then added white resin for waves and used the heat to encourage the colors to draw the white resin across the piece. Now for the orange and gold. It's a sunset. It has to have some orange, right? So I decided to take a risk and try to incorporate the sun itself and its reflection on the water. I started with a nice little circle of sun, then started layering in the reflection. The cooler orange resin was sinking beneath the base layer, so I added a little heat so it would hopefully float back up without mixing completely. I added a bit more white to differentiate the shoreline waves from the sky, and then increased the size of the sun so it wouldn't disappear during the curing process. I want to take a moment for those new to working with resin and mention that it is important to use tools like spoons, stir sticks, and tweezers to handle the chemicals, or to wear gloves so that it doesn't end up on your hands. Likewise, it is good practice to cover the surfaces you are working on so stray drips of resin and dyes don't ruin tables or floors. If it does get onto your hands or surfaces, make sure while it is still uncured to use some rubbing alcohol to clean up instead of soap. Rubbing alcohol will break down the resin and wipe it away, whereas soap and water will just turn it into a slimy mess. I used a black polyurethane that I had on hand to simulate the inbound nightfall and chose some low-profile satin nickel handles. Here you can see me having to cut the bolts down to length, as the craft boards are thinner than a standard drawer that these handles would typically go on. Once these bolts were cut and the holes drilled, the handle attaching went quite smoothly. I also centered a picture hanger to the back as well for some convenient hanging. As of publishing this video, this and a few other ocean scenes are available on my Etsy store linked below. If you use code YouTube, I'll know you watched this video and give you 15% off as a thank you. And here's the final project. Let me know in the comments what projects you want to see me do next. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!